Joining us tonight with his insights is Mike Davis from the Internet Accountability Project. Mike, always great to see you. A lot to get to here, but first, President Biden still maintains that he knew nothing about his son's business dealings when he was vice president. Certain members of Congress, though, say the evidence shows otherwise. Your thoughts?
Yeah, the New York Post reported on this back 2 weeks before the election about then Joe Biden, presidential candidate Joe Biden, being on the Chinese and Ukrainian payrolls, smoking gun evidence. And so what happened? You had the FBI working with 51 former intel agencies, working with big tech, Google, Amazon, Facebook, Apple, and Twitter, along with big media to censor, silence, deplatform, and cancel any mention of this. They took the New York Post, America's oldest newspaper. They took it offline. You couldn't even access the link to the New York Post reporting. They absolutely threw the presidential election for President Biden, because if the American people would have seen this smoking gun evidence before the election in November 2020, there's no way President Biden would be sitting in the White House today.
And Mike, I want to pivot now to big tech. If Twitter employees are indeed called to testify before the House for censoring the laptop story, what do you see happening?
It's explosive. I mean, there is a Wall Street Journal opinion piece out there by Philip Hamburger, who is a Columbia Law School professor, that talks about how this could be a criminal violation. This could be a conspiracy to violate civil rights when you're censoring Americans, when the government is working with big tech to censor Americans. You have government action there. And it could be, at a minimum, it is a civil rights violation under our civil laws, 1988. But we're looking at maybe 18 U.S.C. 241, conspiracy to violate civil rights. And that, we need to get to the bottom of that. There is nothing more dangerous that we can think of than the government colluding with monopolists to censor Americans. And they have to get to the bottom of that with these investigations, and I know they will.
Yeah, I want to stay with Twitter. It seems more and more continues to come out just about every day with the so-called Twitter files being released. This week, news broke that Twitter executives moved to ban President Trump from the platform back in 2020, despite no policy violations. Your reaction, Mike, and what else do we know about this?
Yeah, they're trying to. The big tech is an arm of the Democrat Party. Fortunately, we have a benevolent billionaire in Elon Musk, who spent $44 billion and made this terrible investment to buy Twitter so we could actually see what happened. The problem is we don't have people who are rich enough to buy Google and Apple and Amazon, which are 25 to 50 times bigger than Twitter. And those are the real online gatekeepers. This is why we need to break up big tech. They have too much power. They have gatekeeping power over information and commerce, and they use that to censor conservatives and others with whom they disagree. And what's going to happen with Twitter is they've already been doing the advertiser boycotts to try to kneecap Elon Musk and Twitter. What happens when Google and Apple kick Twitter out of the App Store duopoly and Amazon kicks Twitter off the internet like they did to Parler? That's the next move, and we cannot let that happen.
Mike, we're almost out of time, but I want to touch on this. Speaking of Elon Musk, he tweeted out this week that his pronouns were prosecute and Fauci. And along the same lines, House Republicans say they're ready to grill Dr. Fauci on everything from the lockdowns and masking to the vaccine mandates. Your thoughts, and where do you see all this going?
Yeah, Tony Fauci's no victim here. He is the villain. He funded this research in the Wuhan lab. He lied about it. He covered it up, and it led to millions of deaths, trillions in lost treasure, 2+ years of human misery. And now we know that he's colluding with big tech to censor Americans. There are clear criminal violations here, if this is true, that there's perjury, there's obstruction, there's violation of civil rights under this statute we talked about, 18 U.S.C. 241. There's no one who should be a bigger target of congressional Republicans than Tony Fauci. He caused absolute chaos to the American economy and to our way of life for too long.
Well, so much more we can talk about, Mike. Unfortunately, we're out of time. Thank you so much, as always, for coming on and for your insights. We appreciate it.